Okay, well, I am having the privilege of being visited by these people from San Antonio, Corozal, Belize. And over here I have, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Dora Dyer.
This is Dora Dyer. By the way, Dora is also sister to Doreen. And over here we have Lucy. And what we're going to be doing today is looking at some of the things, the background that was happening around Doreen's situation, getting a little documentations of what really happened. And these are people that were there that helps to get the full record of the story. Um, Lucy, I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit of what was happening with you. I remember speaking to you from Houston, and you were telling me what needed to be done, and you were pretty much in charge of what was going on with Doreen. Do you mind going ahead at this time and telling us the background? Get me from where I talked to you then, and bring us up to speed as to where we are today. Give me a as detailed an explanation of what you recall happened then.
Maybe from the beginning, like say like because what happened it started like Doreen started with just like a high temperature like for 2 weeks and like the doctors they couldn't find what was wrong with her. And then like the end of the second week I could recall it was a Friday evening. She just found that like a little what you call like a wart, like something
Blister.
like a blister came under her foot. And the Monday, she went to the doctor and the doctor kind of like just prick it, and then it just started ooze, but it was very the smell,
Offensive.
very
Foul
very
smell.
strong. And after about like say 2 days of it just keep on oozing, she went to the doctor in Corozal and they tell her she has to go and see the doctor in Orange Walk. When she reached there, it was a specialist. When she reached there, the doctors recommend that her foot has gangrene and she will have to amputate that foot. And and I was there and I couldn't see no other way of they could help because they tried different things. They tried different medicines. They had her on antibiotic for many days. And her foot was so because like you are outside her room, you could smell from a very offensive scent from outside. And the nurse called me in one day and showed me her foot. Well, it was a sight. Plus the stent.
Could you give us a reference on your feet as to maybe how big it was?
It was like because it was started like just a little blister under here, like when you have a little blister, like a burn. But what happened when she went in there? They supposed to like because it was all like I guess they said it was like dead skin, so they kept cleaning it. So like it was like a big scar, like all of this almost to the bone. But it was just like raw, the meat, everything they keep on cutting, and then the thing. What happened? The bandages they just keep on always they ooze out this blood. Yes, and that time it was a big scar like from about around here to about here, all of here. Yes, the whole foot bottom, And well, they said the doctor spoke to us because it was a hard decision that the only thing could be done, they would have to amputate her foot. Well, we decided that was the Tuesday, so the Wednesday.
What date was that?
That I don't recall what date it was. I could recall when the doctor told us about the Tuesday. He said, well, Thursday we will have to operate her foot. I could see Doreen, it looked really down, but as I told her, well, we'll try to build her up. I would tell her, well, it's better that 1 foot off than when you look, she lose, you know, she died because then the way it
Gone
into her
green.
system.
Yeah.
And that was about Tuesday. The Wednesday when I went back, as you know, we are like half an hour drive from this hospital. When the following day, no, the Wednesday night. Well, I know I took off time from school and I was to go early in the morning, the Thursday morning, because I was going to operate her that same morning. So about midnight, the Wednesday night, my phone rang and it was his son Alex, who lives in Houston, and he said, Aunt Lucy said, hold on, he said, put on Johnny on to you, hear what Johnny has to say. And
Who are you referring to as Johnny?
John Sanker, Dr. John Sanker. that Johnny is the pet name. Sorry about that.
It's fine. It's good that you
So
explained.
it was a three-way, and then John explained that he definitely know that this machine can help Doreen. And I told him, I said, but it's tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, they will operate her. So he said, I can bring the machine if you are willing. So, well, I said, well, it would be good because we try to, do anything to save her foot. So it was arranged that he will come and bring the machine. So the following morning, I didn't sleep the rest of the night because now I was thinking what to go and tell this doctor, because they already have her on schedule and everything.
And you have to get her.
When I went to the hospital in the morning, it was about 8. I tried to catch him before he runs the ward or before he got busy. And when I went to Doreen's ward, they already had her in her gown, already shaved her foot. And because she didn't know anything that we had arranged. She was looking kind of down, because now we know that at 9 o'clock they will wheel her in. So then I told her what happened. So now the doctor came in and I explained to the doctor, I said, I know that what you're planning to do, but really, really, we would like to try something else. I said, and this John Sanker, he's a cousin of hers, and he promised and said that his machine, the machine that he brings will help because it has to do with the circulation of the blood. And I was just begging him if he can give us the break to try, and then if that doesn't work well, we'll have to go through with it. And he agreed. He said, okay, well, whatever you wish, it's your call. And let's see, if you wish that you try the machine. And so it was decided. So John came in the afternoon. And as soon as, we were lucky too that, we knew the doctor too, because he once worked in Corozal. He allowed us to let John set up the machine in the ward, and John showed the doctors how to work the machine, and it was a miracle to see how that machine, what it had done, because even the doctor told my sister the following day, he said, I know even with that machine, you will still come to me to get that foot amputated.
Wow.
And we went after, everything was finished and she got her foot, her foot get so good, it was well and everything. I met the doctor like about 2 months after, and I told him, I said, I really would like to see you. I would like to see you see my sister. She's even riding a bicycle.
Yes, like a
At
miracle.
first she couldn't even move.
She couldn't move, she couldn't,
Even turn in her bed.
nothing. No, she couldn't because she couldn't do anything, So the machine is really. I would recommend it to anybody. I believe in that machine.
But it
And
goes
after-
with,
diet,
it
did
goes
it
with
go
the
with
diet.
Oh yes, it goes with a diet. The first week it was very, very, very hard because the first week she had to be on a food diet to detox her body, and she stuck on the diet, and all the while she was in the hospital, even when she came out, she was on a diet, and thank God with everything she's okay, and I guess after that a lot of people heard about the machine.
They call it the miracle machine.
The miracle machine, I guess, and they would they would go there where she lives, and they would go in the machine. The machine has really helped a lot of people.
What is the name of this machine?
Miracle machine.
I realize you guys given it a.
We don't
then
know
that's
the correct
wonderful.
name. We don't know the scientific name, so it's just it's the
Is,
miracle
is that the
machine.
machine over here?
Yeah, one big one just like that.
Okay. That's the Hydrat machine. This is the same model that Doreen has, which I took to her in Belize. And on top of it, it says Hydrat PT, and it's from Sancro International Link. So this is the machine we're talking about, right? Okay. What's happening with Doreen now? You say she's doing great. What's the condition of her feet? Can you give us any detail?
Oh no, her feet, you wouldn't believe anything was wrong with her foot.
Real.
It's
No
just
scar,
everything,
nothing?
just no. It just everything grew back. All those flesh, everything. Well, after she came, because in the end, she had to discharge. She went home, and
She
then
discharged
she
herself.
discharged herself because they wanted to send her back to Orangewa. And she decided because it was just the same, they just dress it, and then
the machine,
the
yeah.
machine. So they decided she signed her own paper and she went home. And she went to a private doctor.
What was the names of the doctors?
This Dr. Omar
Vasquez.
Omar Vasquez. He's from Corazon.
Name again?
Omar Vasquez.
Okay. And his
And
specialty?
that's his name. He's just a general practitioner. But what happened? His treatment, whatever she gave her, it was very, very, very expensive, but it really, really helped dry up, heal it fast,
They walk
But that was
more.
after the
After
machine.
Yes,
the
it was after the
machine and the
machine.
hospital,
No, because
yeah.
all this while she was on the machine, even up to now, she goes on that machine like one time for the day.
Every day.
Like an
every day.
hour every day, she on her 2 feet.
And kind of still stay on a diet too, because she's diabetic. So she stays on a diet.
Because she told me the other day, she said, I tell you the truth, if I had my last life, I think I would have died. She didn't be just say you don't have
Because
to
the reeds walk in.
depend on people, everybody to attend to you.
It was like a miracle, man.
So a lot of people, the machine has helped though. Helped a lot of people. So when John was down there, he told me he was planning to probably do something there, maybe, because I'm quite sure if he has like machine like this and have like a place, a consultation place or so on, people would, and they charge by the hour or so it would be, and you have someone running it.
I also believe that the diet plays an important role in
In it.
The detox, yes.
Yes.
Detox,
Yeah, that was fruits, the real. It was 1 week detox, and that's what he said, the fruits. Like you give him 3 different type of fruits every day for 1 week.
Twice a day.
3 times you could eat for it. Well, you eat it 3 times, but you just eat it 2 times a day. But you eat the
3 fruits
The
every
first
time.
day she complained, "Cause hungry, right?" But afterwards, I guess it get used to it. No more complaining. After that, it was vegetables.
You mentioned some other people. Do you know of any specifics?
We have our cousin Joel, okay? Then you have
What he had.
what happened, he had a foot. He's a diabetic too, but he has been to the doctor for quite a while. He has something on his toe, and then he can't get better. So he not heal.
It's not healing.
So he just would go on the machine, and that would help. Judy Smith used to go to Judy too. Judy used to go every day religiously to get on the machine for 1 hour. And her foot, because what happened, she seems to have, I think it's what, ulcer. She has an ulcer on her foot. You remember you went to see her foot when you were there?
Yeah.
And it was getting her pretty well, but like she just, I don't know, it just stopped.
So that is showing like you need somebody there behind these people, you know. It's not just a self something, and to pep them up. And I insist that the diet too will play an important role in the healing process.
Oh yes,
So
they have to have
you
be on a
can't
diet.
just say the machine and that's it. They have to get an understanding of what it is doing to their body, and maybe that is why she didn't continue.
Because she doesn't keep a diet. Because I kept telling her, remember the same lady you went
And
to
the
see?
importance.
If she would go on a diet and that machine, I'm quite sure her foot.
Well, you
Get
was her good friend.
Yeah, but I told her about it, but you know, I guess she has that soul line, and you know, she just feel like that's part of her life now. It's like, I think that being problem she has.
Well, you see, this is, you know, what Auntie Sylvia is saying is so true. And as I listen to her speak, it's like, Johnny, you need to come home.
Yes.
You know,
Something
that
behind
really,
it, yes. Somebody gotta be there to let them.
And you know what I said?
know?
When John was there, I thought the hospital would have
Picked up on
picked
it.
up on it and try get at least one machine for every hospital.
But
Because
they
they
don't
have
want to do that because they will look bad.
Yes.
what-
And that
yes.
is what is in their mind. You know, here comes somebody who is not a doctor.
Mhm.
They are the doctors. They are
Yes.
there to do it, and
Because
they are not
while,
doing it. So they will look
Doreen
bad.
was in there and when they were running word, they said that Barbosa, like, you know, because Salim, he's also excited about this machine because he saw what happened, how it works, so he was...
What was his reaction, Dr. Salim?
Well, he was really
He
for
was
it.
in for it?
Yeah, he was really
Okay.
enthused about
But
it.
inside.
But Doreen said, Barbosa, like, you know, not pay him any mind because it's like, come and see the machine and how it works. Barbosa not even come, you know, like, show no interest. So, you know,
Well, it was Dr. Salim that called
Salim.
Salim. He called the media and explained to them what was happening, and that was the Love FM that did the interview there, which then was televised and released. He had mentioned, even in the interview, that they would love to have it in all their diabetes clinics that they were addressing. By the way, this is me, Dr. Sanker speaking. I have contacted them, but very disappointed with their response. And I was expecting more for them to, you know, accept what I was offering. But there's so much life that I'm dealing here with in the United States, and still I was taking time out to deal there, and I was surprised that they didn't realize what they had really to go on doing the amputations that they're doing.
Who specifically you're referring
There is a new doctor there now at the Corozal Hospital. Took Salim place, I believe. He said he was excited. I talked to him on the phone, and he said he sent on the information to Belize, the Ministry of Health, and he's waiting for a response. I called, I spoke, and left emails at the Ministry of Health with no results, as
you
though
know what?
I don't know what.
Pablo Marin, he's the Minister of Health.
Right,
I-
and you mentioned that.
When
I
go
called
back,
directly.
When I go back, I'll speak to him.
Okay, because
I will
I
speak to him and
Good.
let him because you know I would recommend that these machines would be good to put that, you know.
Clinic,
and-
hospitals.
And even from that, I have had other people call me from Belize to get machines. Okay, and they are very expensive. but I am willing to work out some form of what we can do to cut the cost down. Whereas if we get like, a few of them, we can do a lot for cutting the cost, because buying the parts one by one, it's like 50% higher.
Yes, yes.
And if we can buy, them by volume, I'll pass that savings on to Corozal, Belize. But just an individual by themselves, it's very difficult. But like it's great having you guys here, because you are influential and people do know you. And to make mention what you see and is happening for those people there, there's also something else I'd like you to take back with you. The bird flu and the swine flu, this is the only antidote for it. It's the only thing that can bring the blood to the quality that's necessary, and it will block the doors to the virus. This was done in 1918. Millions died. The estimate now, experts are saying that it could wipe out 50% of the human race. And so I understood that they were closing borders there in Belize to try and protect Belize from it. And yet, this may be the only thing that they can have, and I'm offering it to them before the rest of the world. Actually, the federal government of the U.S. director flew here to Dallas and asked me about it, and he told me I need to start stockpiling, because they will soon come after this because of the virus that's going on now. Okay? So if you could share with them the seriousness and the opportunity that is at their door, they need to jump at it while it is available. Okay?
That's something that have like
You see,
one of them
we would have to
machine.
get influential people. Like, you all know what it had done for Doreen.
And the family.
Yes, and we talked just among ourselves, and other people heard about it. But will those people go and promote something
Yeah, that's true.
that is not theirs?
Yeah.
All
Would
right.
they be interested in doing that? No. If you make something to sell or something to help, or you are the creator, you are the person who knows exactly what it's doing to the body, and you can tell them what it did for Doreen, but they, oh yes,
That's
okay,
true.
that was good, that is true, but it really needs the person who,
Where it came from.
yeah.
Well, I can certainly
Originate.
appreciate that, and let me respond to that, since you're talking to the person that created it. That is what every country in the world right now wants. And I am being surrounded by some very high caliber influential people to make sure that I stay safe. And they are putting together protocols by which who will get to speak to me. Access to me is very, very much guarded right now. And this is what I am talking about when I say tell them I am making a special provision to talk to Belize, and I have made efforts that I don't do to the rest of the country. Right now there are 8 other international countries that is called that wants this assistance and technology there that I'm not able to address. But
Did you, sorry,
yes.
did you get to talk to him, the number I gave you?
Marine?
Uh-huh.
No, I would only get to talk to the secretary.
Okay.
He's never returned a call, nor an email, or no information has ever responded.
We promised that between Lucy
Okay.
and I,
I will try to see. Maybe
Yeah, I would say go as a delegate, together, and let him know that this is not just a bypasser. You've come here, you've visited with me, and we've talked about the urgency of the need of this in Belize. Be assured that I would be there if I was able to. However, there are 500 amputations being done here in the U.S. alone that I am the only one that can address. So I can't be all over the place, but I am willing to do what I can, just like I have. Those machines right there are $12,000. That is to me, is a step of good faith, for Belize. And I've left it there for them to see and play with and do whatever they choose, and left myself open for consultation whenever they needed. Okay? And I have also called and left messages several times, but with no response. They just really need to understand that this won't be there for too long. And it's not a matter of me just saying, I just don't want to. I just won't be able to. Because I am making arrangements for where I will be, scheduled for. And there goes my time. And when they might want me, I will not be available. But, through you, I love Belize. Belize is my home. But on the same token, I can't and I won't make myself intrusive. If they don't want it, they don't want it. But let them know how many people could die and maybe getting amputated just because of them not paying attention. Okay? And Sylvia, I hear what you're saying, and I would love to go there and do it.
We surely appreciate and feel proud of the work that you have done. All your years of sacrifice is finally paying off, and we have proof of that with Doreen, and we know that Belize is your home and you belong to us also. And we look forward to that day when you will be able to do some more promotion. Doesn't mean you have to live there, but at least, a starting point, educate some of us through workshops, select different areas. And of course, I would want to say Corozal first.
Okay.
And promote it not only workshop through the media, and look for influential people like the Minister of Health through the government. And I have good faith that something will work out. By God's help, no? So,
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I sure appreciate this. Has been a wonderful
If
meeting.
you look at it, it has, because it's a, it's so happened, like, what's a big proof of it. Having one of your own relative, back from Belize. That show the proof there.
Save for leg, because for sure it would have been amputated if it wasn't for the Miracle Sunkers machine, whatever the
how
name
did
is.
them, because that didn't come to my mind when Doreen was sick. I cried when you told me about her leg, and I live next door to her, and I can't imagine seeing her without a leg because she's so active. And now I look at her jumping on her bicycle and riding down to town, and it's very busy in her yard. And every time I look at her, I think of John and the machine and people working has done for her. So that was a plus. My question is, how Lexi, because it never came to me, I kind of knew Johnny was doing something, this hot and cold business.
No, Gina.
I
John
think
was
Gina's
Johnny.
supposed to
John
tell.
was down in Houston or keep in touch with Gina.
And
And
Gina
Gina heard about the green leg and the
Okay.
situation, and Gina kind of knew a little bit about the machine and what it did. And so I think Gina called Lexi and told Lexi to get in touch with John, find out about the machine, and tell him the situation with Doreen's leg. And that's how I called Lexi and tell her, call Lucy home and tell her see if they could postpone the surgery and give him a chance if he can make it down
then
with the machine.
we spoke to John.
Yes, and then that was the same night when they hooked up
Decision
three-way.
made overnight.
Yeah, because it was a three-way.
Yeah, that's when they
Tell
outspoke
me, he said,
three-way on the
listen
phone.
to what John has to say. And when he explained, I saw, he said that he would, if we agree,
You would be willing.
he would come the following day with the machine. And then I told him, so I listen to me, I make decision. I tell him, yes, come with the machine, they won't. Because I say, after all, they can't cut it if we don't agree,
Yes, if it don't work, then they go through, but give us a chance with it. And thank God it worked.
Well, a lot of people have heard about this and they want to know more. They want to hear more of the story. And I of course, media and stuff like that is not usually on my mind when I take care of a patient. My thought is keep it as private as possible. And of course, when they see the results, like this gentleman came to me that was in hospice from Lyme disease, they're just waiting for him to die. I didn't do any work up to make anything public about what was going on with him. But today, I mean, comparison to where he was then, he couldn't dress himself, he couldn't eat, he couldn't bathe. None of his